What if I told you the perfect woman isn't about flawless looks or fitting into society's mold? What if true perfection lies in qualities that go far deeper, qualities that make her not just a partner, but a force of strength and inspiration? Imagine someone who stays calm in chaos, who stands firm in storms, and who radiates a quiet confidence that draws you in. Doesn't that sound like the kind of woman you'd want by your side? Stoic philosophy offers timeless wisdom on what makes a woman truly remarkable, not by her appearance, but by her character and inner strength. Before we dive into these life-changing insights, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and stick around till the end. Trust me, understanding these traits will transform the way you see love and relationships forever. Let's get started. Sign 1, she doesn't get angry easily. Think about the last time you had an argument with someone you care about. Maybe it was over something small, a forgotten text, a delayed plan, or a simple misunderstanding. Emotions flared, harsh words were exchanged, and later, you wished you could take it all back. Now imagine being with a woman who doesn't meet anger with more anger. She doesn't snap over minor mistakes or let her emotions take the wheel. Instead, she pauses, listens, and responds with calm clarity. Sounds like a dream, right? But here's the truth, this isn't about being emotionless or suppressing feelings. It's about emotional intelligence. A woman who doesn't get angry easily isn't someone who never feels frustration. She's someone who's mastered self-control. She knows that reacting in anger rarely solves anything. Instead, she processes her emotions and chooses to respond with patience and understanding. Think about your past relationships. Have you ever been with someone who exploded over the smallest things? Maybe you felt like you were walking on eggshells, afraid one wrong move would set them off. Exhausting, isn't it? A relationship should feel like a safe space, not a battlefield. Now picture the opposite. Imagine coming home after a tough day, venting about what went wrong, and instead of frustration or impatience, she listens, she understands, she doesn't escalate, she helps you navigate. This kind of emotional stability is rare but powerful. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher, often wrote about the strength of remaining unshaken by external events. He believed true power comes from within, from controlling your emotions rather than letting them control you. A perfect woman by Stoic standards embodies this. She knows anger is fleeting and destructive if left unchecked. So she chooses patience. She chooses understanding. She chooses love over ego. Ask yourself, have you ever acted out of anger and later wished you'd handled it differently? How would it have changed things if you'd paused, breathed, and responded calmly? Now flip it. Have you ever had someone do that for you? Someone who met your anger with calm instead of retaliation? If you have, you know how powerful that is. If you haven't, that's the kind of love you deserve. A woman who doesn't get angry easily isn't just a great partner, she's a reflection of emotional strength that builds lasting relationships. Sign 2, she doesn't leave you in difficult times. Picture this, you're at your lowest. Maybe you lost your job, maybe you're struggling with your mental health, or maybe life just isn't going your way. You look around and the people who were there in your good times seem to have vanished. Now imagine another scenario. This time when everything falls apart, there's someone who stays. She doesn't make excuses or run away because things got hard. Instead, she's right beside you, holding your hand, reminding you that you're not alone. That's the kind of woman who doesn't leave in difficult times. And trust me, she's rare. In today's world, it's easy to stay in a relationship when things are good. When life is smooth, love feels effortless. But the real test of love isn't in the good times, it's in the storms. It's in the moments when everything is falling apart, and you wonder who's truly by your side. Think back to your past relationships. Have you ever had someone leave when things got tough? Maybe they became distant when you were struggling, or they made you feel like your problems were a burden. That hurts, doesn't it? A woman who doesn't leave in difficult times is different. She understands life is unpredictable. She knows no one is perfect, and every relationship will face hardships. But instead of running, she chooses to stay. She doesn't see your struggles as weakness. She sees them as something you'll overcome together. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, once said, "Difficulties are what show men's character." The same applies to relationships. A woman who truly loves you will show her character when times are hard. And it's not just about standing by you. It's about how she stands by you. She doesn't just sit in silence while you suffer. She lifts you up. She reminds you of your worth when you forget it. She pushes you forward when you feel stuck. Imagine this, you've hit rock bottom. You don't know how to fix what's broken. But then she looks at you and says, "We'll figure this out together." In that moment, you realize something powerful. Love isn't about avoiding hard times. It's about choosing to face them together. That's the kind of woman who builds unbreakable relationships. The kind of woman who sees love as something worth fighting for. Now let me ask you, have you ever had someone stand by you in your worst moments? If you have, you know how priceless that is. If you haven't, don't settle until you find it. Because real love doesn't leave when life gets tough. It stays, it fights, and it grows stronger. Sign 3. She doesn't compromise on her values. Let's talk about something that defines a lasting relationship. Values. Picture this. You're sitting with her, talking about the future, your dreams, and what matters most in life. She's confident, steady in her beliefs, and she doesn't back down from what she knows to be right. You can see it in her eyes. She knows who she is. She doesn't change her core principles just because the world around her is shifting. Think back to a moment in your relationship where she held firm on something important to her. Maybe it was a decision that seemed small to others, but to her it was about standing up for what she believed in. Perhaps she refused to do something that didn't align with her values, even though it could have made life easier or more comfortable. This is the power of integrity. In the early stages of a relationship, we're often drawn to someone's kindness, humor, or charm. But over time, what really matters is their ability to hold on to their values, especially when life challenges those values. A woman who doesn't compromise on her values builds trust. You know where she stands. You know that when things get tough, she won't make choices that leave her or you feeling empty or lost. You might be wondering, what does this look like in real life? Well, maybe she's the kind of person who refuses to accept unfair treatment, whether it's at work or in her personal life. Or perhaps she speaks up in situations where others stay silent, even when it's uncomfortable. She might be the one who ensures people are treated with kindness and fairness, regardless of what anyone else is doing. Her actions align with her words and her integrity is unwavering. And let's be real, this is a trait you can't fake. You can't pretend to have strong values when you're constantly bending them to fit in or please others. The woman who doesn't compromise on her values doesn't just talk the talk. She walks the walk every single day. So think about your own love story for a moment. Has there been a time when she stayed true to herself, even when it was difficult? Maybe she made a tough choice. Or she faced a situation where the right thing to do was the hardest thing to do. Did that moment make you admire her even more? Share your thoughts in the comments below. What's a moment when your partner stood firm on her values, and how did that make you feel? Sign 4. She doesn't worry about what the world thinks. Imagine this. You're out together at a family event, or maybe you're just walking through a park, and there's a moment where the world is watching. Everyone's making judgments, and people are whispering about this or that, yet she is unbothered. She's walking with her, head held high, confident in her choices. She doesn't care if she's wearing the latest fashion trend, or saying exactly what everyone else expects. She's completely at peace with herself. It's as if she's in her own little world, and in that world, she doesn't need anyone's approval to be happy. Now, here's the thing, this isn't just a superficial quality. It goes much deeper. A woman who doesn't worry about what the world thinks is someone who has mastered the art of self-acceptance. And let's face it, in today's world, that's rare. We live in an age of constant comparisons. Social media tells us how we should look, what we should say, and even how we should feel. But a woman who embodies Stoic philosophy isn't swayed by these external pressures. She lives according to her own standards, not anyone else's. Think about the times when you've seen her make a bold decision, one that others might have criticized or questioned. Maybe she wore something that wasn't in style, but it made her feel beautiful. Or maybe she took a path in her career or personal life that others thought was a risk, but she felt it was right for her. When you have someone who isn't afraid to go against the grain, you're not just seeing someone strong, you're seeing someone free. Free from the shackles of societal expectations, free from worrying about judgment. She is, in every sense of the word, liberated. For you as a partner, this is incredibly empowering. Think about it. When she isn't looking for validation from the outside world, she frees you from that pressure too. It's like a breath of fresh air. No more worrying about how your relationship appears to others or whether you're living up to some ideal. Instead, you can just be authentic and true to who you both are. Have you ever been with someone who, no matter what others thought, stayed true to themselves? Maybe she laughed in the face of judgment or remained unwavering in a situation where others would have crumbled under pressure. How did that make you feel? Stronger, right? More connected? That's the power of someone who is confident in her own skin. Now take a moment and think back. When have you seen your partner stay true to herself, even when the world was watching? How did that moment impact you or your relationship? Share your thoughts in the comments. I want to know how you've seen this kind of strength and authenticity in your own love story. Sign 5. She is truly happy in your happiness. Have you ever had that moment in a relationship when you succeed or accomplish something, and instead of feeling like you need to celebrate, alone, or even compete for attention, your partner is the first person to truly celebrate with you? The happiness you feel is multiplied when she's genuinely excited for your success. This is the sign of a woman who is truly happy in your happiness. Let me tell you a story that might resonate with you. Picture this: you've been working hard toward a personal goal. Maybe it's something like a promotion at work, completing a tough project, or even a personal transformation you've been striving for. You've put in all the effort, sacrificed your time, and given it everything you've got. The moment comes, the news is good. You've succeeded. But what really matters is the look on her face when she hears it. There's no jealousy, no competition, just pure, unfiltered joy for you. This kind of support isn't just about sharing the highs, it's about genuine, unselfish love. She doesn't view your success as a reflection of her own worth or a threat to her in any way. Instead, she feels uplifted with you because your happiness is her happiness. This is the type of bond that transforms a relationship into something deeper and more beautiful. Think about a time when she celebrated with you like this. Maybe it was a little victory, an achievement that made you feel proud, but also humble. How did it feel to have someone genuinely share in that moment with you? Her happiness in your success is a sign of her emotional intelligence, her trust in you, and her ability to love unconditionally. And that's not something you find every day. This feeling of shared happiness builds a deeper emotional connection. It creates a space where both partners lift each other up. Imagine for a moment that you're both growing and evolving, not in competition but in unison. That's the power of having a partner who is just as excited for your growth as you are for hers. And now think back. When was the last time your partner made you feel like your happiness was her happiness? Whether it was a small victory or something bigger, she was there, cheering you on, supporting you, and basking in your joy with you. That kind of shared emotion strengthens the foundation of any relationship. I want to hear your stories. Comment below and share a moment when your partner truly made you feel special in your happiness. Let's hear your love stories. Sign 6. She always remains composed and graceful. Now let's talk about the calm and composed nature of the perfect woman. It's something truly remarkable. When a woman can face life's challenges with grace and poise, never letting the chaos of the world shake her. In every storm, she remains steady. In every challenge, she remains grounded. And that's not because she doesn't feel the pressure. It's because she knows how to handle it. Picture this. You're facing a crisis together. Maybe it's a financial struggle, a difficult family situation, or even a health scare. It's one of those moments when everything seems uncertain, and there's a lot of fear and anxiety in the air. But she doesn't panic. She doesn't lose her head. Instead, she breathes deeply, assesses the situation calmly, and then takes action gracefully, thoughtfully, and with purpose. This is a woman who understands that stress and worry are part of life, but they don't have to control you. She's learned, perhaps through her own experiences, that panic only makes things worse, and calmness is the key to finding solutions. In those moments, you might look at her and realize she's the rock that keeps the entire world from falling apart. She has this remarkable ability to stay composed, even in the face of adversity. And this doesn't just apply to big moments of crisis. It's in the everyday things too. Whether you're in a difficult conversation, dealing with an uncomfortable situation, or just trying to keep things together during a busy week, her ability to remain graceful is something that can only be described as a gift. It's a combination of confidence, inner peace, and emotional control that makes her stand out from others. But what makes her even more remarkable is that this composure isn't a cold, detached trait, it's warm and gentle. She doesn't remain composed to distance herself from you or the world. She does it because she believes in facing challenges with dignity, and she believes in doing so with you by her side. There's something so soothing about her ability to bring calm to chaos. It makes you feel safe. It makes you feel like no matter what happens, you will be okay together. Think about a time when she displayed that calm strength in the face of adversity. How did it affect you? Did her composed presence give you a sense of peace in the middle of uncertainty? It's these moments that make you realize how powerful it is to be with someone who doesn't just survive life's challenges, they face them with poise, grace, and strength. So what about you? Have you ever had a moment when her composure helped you get through a tough time? Or perhaps you've seen her in a situation where her calm energy made all the difference. Share your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear how her grace under pressure has impacted your life. Conclusion. So there you have it. The 6 signs of a perfect woman. According to Stoic philosophy, she's calm, committed, values-driven, independent of others' opinions, genuinely happy for you, and always composed, a truly exceptional partner. These signs might not match what society deems as perfection, but they align perfectly with the Stoic virtues of inner strength, integrity, and emotional resilience. If you're lucky enough to find a woman who embodies these traits, hold on to her. And if you're a woman striving to cultivate these qualities, keep going. The world needs more of this kind of strength. Remember, a truly great relationship is one where both partners grow together, challenge each other, and become the best versions of themselves. So take these lessons to heart and see how they can transform your love life. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.